So when
Hello, everybody. This is Jason Smith with the Jason Smith Showcase team, otherwise known as Showcase Miami, down here in Miami, Florida, giving you the update with the most recent information that we have from March just completed now that we're in April. So this is up till March, everything that's been going on in the Miami real estate market. Going to be focusing overall a little bit generally to start with, and then we'll focus on Coconut Grove, single family and condo, followed by Coral Gables, single family and condo. So you can compare and contrast the two. And we'll touch on interest rates a little bit as well, what they've been doing since March 7th and why that might be affecting what we've been seeing in the market. But yes, it's the end of peak season, the traditional peak season here in Miami, where you've got lots of things happening, incredible weather. The weather is still great. We've had, let's say, 12 to 13 knot winds in March, which is it's the windiest time of year for sailing. So sailors around here love it. Sailors from all over the world competing for Olympic trials, national sailing, you name it, every type of sailboat you can think of. You see many people come descending upon Coconut Grove, and these competitive sailors littering the bay with all kinds of races and committee boats, that type of thing. So it's a great time to be a sailor. And as a matter of fact, Zyrel, my assistant right here, will put a little clip of us sailing on Saturday. This past Saturday, I went out there, gorgeous winds, and an ensign, a 23-foot ensign sailboat. If any of you are familiar with that, I'll use Zyrel. And while she's doing that, okay. So there you have it, beautiful weather. Hope everyone's had a great Easter and a happy Passover season here. And let's dive into it. So first thing I'll say is that I hear there's great weather happening in New York the last couple of days. My sister lives up there. I heard that it's been a beautiful, sunny, gorgeous experience up there, which is interesting because that starts to relate to the Miami market, doesn't it? People may not be so inclined to come down to Miami this time of year as the weather starts to improve further up north. And I have definitely seen a correlation in terms of sales activity because of that, right? We're not the only game in town as the summer and the spring continue as far as the good weather is concerned, is my point. It's been a slow October to March, I'd say early March for our team. And then starting mid-March, it changed completely. Our listing started to go under contract. Buyers were making offers. So it's been a fascinating couple of weeks, I would say, in terms of a slow start to the year for our team and many other teams that I've heard of. And here's just talking about the interest rates, for instance. March 7th, the interest rate, the 30-year fixed, was 7.1%. A week later, 6.879%. A week later, 6.49%. 2 weeks after that, 6.23%. So we saw many, many drops in the interest rate, the 30-year APR, from early March to early April. So that could be contributing to what we've seen. Also, the traditional selling season for single family homes is starting now, and it's starting to heat up, right? The busiest month, allow me to go ahead and share my screen with you. I'm going to go here into, let's see. Do you see my trend graphic screen, Zyrel?
Yes, sure do.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Miami-Dade, all in all, Miami-Dade, all price ranges, and just see what the market's been doing from a macro 30,000 foot level before we go to Coral Gables and Coconut Grove, as I mentioned. We'll be focusing, let's see here, on single family as opposed to condo. Better yet, we'll do everything, condo and single family. Okay. Thank you for your patience, folks. So here we are, looking at all price ranges, condo and single family. This is Dade and Broward County, South Florida, if you will. You see, this is months of inventory. It basically shows how many months it would take for everything of every price, residential, to sell if nothing else came on the market. Their traditional 6 months is a neutral market where neither the seller nor the buyer has the advantage. And if it's under 6 months, the seller has the advantage. If it's over 6 months, the buyer has the advantage, a buyer market. So March 2023 just passed. There were 3.4 months of inventory, less than 6 months, hence a seller's market. Price is appreciating overall based on that. If you see back in January, it was a neutral market at 6 months of inventory. And again, the way you would analyze that, come up with a months of inventory, is you simply divide what's available, 17,001, let's say in this case, 17,001 divided by 5036 is 3.375. And it says here, how many months of inventory in March? 3.375. They've rounded it up to 3.4. So that's how they calculate months of inventory. So what's always interesting is to compare months of inventory just passed in the present versus a year ago, same months, apples to apples comparison, right? So now we had 3.4 months seller's market overall for Dade and Broward, all price ranges combined, condo and single family. And then last year, March of 2022, the market was on fire, 1.2 months of inventory. So dramatic seller's advantage at that point. Still a seller advantage, but not quite what it was, but definitely seller advantage overall. Now we're going to break it down a little bit more. Let's see what it looks like if we just do Dade County as opposed to Dade and Broward. Let's see if that changes it at all. So 3.4 months for Dade and Broward. What is it in Dade? So 3.4 overall, 4.2 if you factor in just Dade County for all price ranges, condo and single family. What happens if we do, okay, single family, and let's see what single family versus condo. What would you guess would happen? I surmise that there's going to be less inventory in the single family realm, less months of inventory versus strictly condo in Dade County. So we'll find out in a moment definitively. This is all price ranges. Single family Dade County, all price ranges, it's 3.2 months. So there's a seller advantage at 3.2 months of inventory in Dade County for single family. Contrast that with 1.3 months in March of last year. Again, same narrative, still a seller's market, but not quite what it was a year ago in March. What happens now if we do condominium for Dade County only, all price ranges, to get a general view of the market? 3.2 for single family, and condo in Dade County, all price ranges combined, is 5.4 months. So still slightly a seller advantage in March, but compare that to January and February, where there was a buyer advantage. The buyers had the upper hand, prices were coming down over those 2 months. Now it's neutralized. March, end of peak season, one could say, for the condo market, because that starts in November, heats up and goes all the way through till March, perhaps April, starts to slow down as those buyers go back north to wherever they may be from, the ones who are vacationing. Contrasting 5.4 months in March to last March of 1.8 months, same narrative. It's still a seller advantage, but not quite what it was. And it's more of a neutral market in condo versus single family. Thus, single family are more sought after, and there's more of a competition for them, more of a seller advantage. What happens now if we do, let's say, 1 to 2 million for single family? And then we'll compare that with Coconut Grove and Coral Gables as well. And before I move on, Zyrel, could you give us a quick, a video of one of our condos that we have for sale, walking distance to the Miami, where the Miami Heat NBA basketball team plays, walking distance to the Adrian Arch Center. Actually, we'll do that at the end. Okay, go right ahead, Zarel.
Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Zarel. So yes, folks, so that one is 50 Biscayne, unit 5204 on the 52nd floor, facing the bay. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with gorgeous views of the cruise ships going in and out. You see all the boats going under the bridge in front of you. And what most people do, or what many people do in that building with that model, is there's a third room. It's a third space, if you will, that they enclose with drywall for $1,000 or so, and they create a 3-bedroom, 2-bath out of it. And there's still plenty of living area. And we have that listed for $999 for sale, $999, 3-bedroom with incredible views that we just showed you. Or you can rent it out at $5,000 a month. So just to give you, that's our listing of the week that we're presenting to you. Okay, so heading back now to the trends, what we're seeing in terms of, let's see if I can share this. Do you see the trend graphic, Zarel?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay, so here we are. We're back. We're looking now at Coral. We'll go to Coconut Grove, and actually, we'll look at single family from 1 to 2 million in Olive-Dade County, just to get a sense of that. Single family, 1 to 2 million. We took a look at that. So now we're going to go to Coconut Grove. All right. Community, city. So 1 to 2 million. Coconut Grove, looking at single family. What does that market look like right now? We've seen, is it a seller's or a buyer advantage? And it's a decided seller advantage, 2 months of inventory, meaning that all of the Coconut Grove houses for sale right now, between 1 and 2 million, they will be gobbled up and consumed and go under contract within 2 months if nothing else comes on the market. Thus, there's a shortage of inventory, and prices, therefore, because of limited supply, are going up. So they say real estate is local, right? Just like one can't say, okay, the average temperature in the United States is blank. Well, it depends where you are in the United States. As you can see here, the same thing applies for real estate, price points, condos, single family. So my goal here in these frequent Zoom updates is just to give you an idea of what's happening on the ground rather than conjecture, that type of thing. You're actually seeing the numbers, which hopefully will help you make the best decision if you want to sell, if you'd like to buy. So I'm happy to present this to you. So that's 2 months of inventory, Coconut Grove, single family, 1 to 2 million. What happens now when we go from 2 to 3 million? One would imagine that the months of inventory might go up, right? Fewer buyers for 2 to 3 versus 1 to 2. And we see that it does go up. It's about 3 months of inventory in March just passed for the single family, between 2 and 3 million. Still a seller advantage, correct? So something worth noting. Now, if we go to Coconut Grove condos, which have been very, very popular, because you've got many people in Miami who are downsizing to these Coconut Grove condos, and you've got people from all over the world buying a first, second, third, or fourth home in the form of a condo in Coconut Grove. So what do we see here? Let's go to 1 to 2 million first to see what that market looks like in Coconut Grove condos. Okay, so you're seeing 2 months of inventory for Coconut Grove condos between $1 and $2 million. And what was it last year? It was 1 month of inventory. So still, it's been a seller's market all throughout the last year for Coconut Grove condos, 1 to 2 million. Let's see what happens if we go 2 to 3 million for condos in Coconut Grove. So you've seen 2 months of inventory in March just passed versus, again, 1 month of inventory, same thing as the 1 to 2 million market. So let's try 3 million to 4. Let's see if there's any difference there. Well, it's not registering any anything going on between 3 to 4. We might have to go to 4 to 5 or 5 to 6, but gives you an idea. Seller advantage still in the 3 to 4 million Coconut Grove condos. Now, if we were to go to Coral Gables, which is a sister city, if you will, I find it to be a sister city, very similar price points, very desirable as well. Let's go to Coral Gables. Let's go to single family and see what single family market looks like in the $1 to $2 million range in Coral Gables. Coral Gables also very close to downtown Miami, very far east in the center of Miami, if you will. Gorgeous area, lots of restaurants, shops, very, very sought after. So single family, 1 to 2 million, Coral Gables. You're looking in March at 1.2 months of inventory, dramatic seller's market, seller advantage. Okay, if you look at March 23 of last year, you had half a month of inventory. So what does that mean? It means prices are continuing to rise in this sector, Coral Gables, single family homes between 1 and 2 million. What happens now if we look at 2 to 3 million in Coral Gables? Single family. Instead of 1.2 months of inventory, we see 1.9 months, still a seller advantage in Coral Gables from 2 to 3 million. Compare that to March of last year, 0.8 months of inventory. It was also a dramatic seller advantage back then. This goes to show that you'll see here, I spoke of the relocation season for single family being March, April, May, June type of thing. This really shows it right here. So remember last year, March, you had less than a month, 1.3, 1 month, June, July, the inventory starts to build up in August. That's when you've got fewer buyers, fewer deals taking place. And then the slowest time of year for single family in Miami, it's represented here on the graph. As you are in August, the school relocation season is complete. You don't have people buying at this point. They need to be closing by August, not going under contract. Then school has started in September, October, you're heading into the holidays. That's the slowest time of year to be putting your home on the market if you're a single family homeowner, at least in the Miami-Dade County area, right? So that's why if you're a seller, it really makes sense now to be on the market, because as you can see last year, so little inventory. That's when sellers can really get their price, when there's so little competition. But that window closes rapidly, and it's gone pretty much by August, definitely September, and then second half of the year slow for single family homes. So very important to know that. Something I've seen 22 years in a row. I see it, I feel it by the way the phones are ringing, the leads that we're getting, the inquiries we're getting, always like that. We love this March through July period because you get the tail end of the condo season, which ends in pretty much March, April, and then the beginning of the single family season, which begins in March and goes through to July. So let's see what it looks like. That's single family, 2 to 3 million. What does condo look like in Coral Gables? So we'll go to condo. Let's do 1 to 2 million first. And of course, if there's any other price points you'd like me to explore and do a personalized video for you and your property, I'd be happy to do it, or you and your purchase. By all means, please let me know. My cell phone number is 786-326-8115. That's 786-326-8115. Or you can simply email me, jason@jasonsmithshowcase.com. Again, that's jason@jasonsmithshowcase.com. showcase.com. Or maybe leave me a message right here on YouTube, and I'll be happy to get back to you with some feedback. So here we are looking at the chart for condo between 1 and 2 million in Coral Gables, and it shows us 4 months of inventory. So it's a slight seller advantage if you're selling a condo between 1 and 2 million in Coral Gables. How does that contrast compare to last year? Last year was 1.8 months of inventory, so it was slightly more of a seller advantage last year. And then, as I spoke of, you see that the condo market slows down after peak season, after April. We're seeing that here in July, August of last year. It was slow. It was buyer market, buyer advantage, 8 and 9 months. And then as the heat season, the summer's over, we're starting to head back into peak season again for Miami. And you start to see seller advantage all the way through till March. So if I were to guess, and you're already seeing the trend, April, you'll see more months of inventory, May, more, June, July, August, more, like we did back here. Okay, so let's see 2 to 3 million condo in Coral Gables, and we're seeing a lot of this type of product being built right now near Coral Way, near Miracle Mile, to service those downsizers who want that walkability, that lifestyle, that they can walk to the restaurants on Miracle Mile, Coral Way in Coral Gables, building after building going up as they're assembling land near Coral Way. So here's an example rather. So this one is 2 to 3 million Coral Gables, 4 months of inventory, slight seller advantage. And last year, this time it was 1.8 months. It looks very similar to the 1 to 2 million. Let me confirm that. So 4 versus 1.8. This is yeah, 4 versus 1.8 as well for the 1 to 2 million. Interesting. So there we have it. So we've covered the interest rates. We talked about let's see here. We talked about interest rates. We talked about what they've been doing lately, going down for a few weeks in a row. We talked about the fact that the condo season traditionally slows down April moving forward. We talked about the fact that if you're a single family home seller, now is the time to be on the market. So those are some things to consider. If you're a buyer, I mean, if you're a contrarian, one might consider buying a condo now as you're heading into the slowest months of the year for Miami. You'll have more motivated sellers if you're a buyer. If you are a seller, you definitely want to be on the market this time of year for a single family, not necessarily a condo. We talked about the fact that there's still multiple offers. Again, Jason Garcia on our team just over the weekend beat out 9 other offers, some of which were cash, by a letter from the buyer to the seller that ingratiated the buyer in the seller's eyes. We had to limit the inspection period. We had to work some things with the appraisal in terms of the appraisal language. We had to customize the offer, and we worked closely with our mortgage broker to make sure that our offer was the strongest possible offer that our buyers could present. And it worked out. And this happened again last month with Francisco on our team. He was competing against 14 offers, and he, with a finance offer representing his buyer, was able to beat out 13 other offers. So we're very proud of that, because it's not an easy thing to do when you've got that much competition on a property. So yes, the market is heating up compared to where it was early this year in January, February. Things are moving. My sense is that buyers now see that the new interest rates versus last year at this time are the new norm, right? It seems like this has become the new normal. Today's 6 to 7% interest rate environment versus the 2 to 3.5 that we had last year. And what I'm seeing, and what we saw back in 2008, 2009, which I remember vividly, the market of the moment, at least, that was buying lots of the properties back then, and I think is coming to the fore right now, are the renters. people whose rents have gone up so high, they're having big rent increases where they're paying not 6 or 7%, but they're paying 100% interest, right? If they're renting, those are the people right now that are starting to buy, and whatever interest rate they're paying is better than what they're paying now as renters. They're going to start building equity. And when we say 10, 14 offers, they're buying properties like that, and those prices are moving up, and there's a lot of demand, and it's a challenge. So we're here to help. Anything you need real estate related, whether it's residential or commercial, our team can help you. My name is Jason Smith. I've been in business here for 22 years. Keller Williams in the Coral Gables Coconut Grove office. I also go around and train other agents around the country, get paid by Keller Williams to train other agents on how to work with sellers and how to serve clientele. My primary business is being a real estate agent. We've got a great team with Francisco, Jason Garcia, Zyrell, excellent Greg Herskowitz to help on the title end. He's a real estate attorney with lots of experience. We've got a great mortgage contacts to help as well. Anything we can do. Our website is showcasemiami.com. 786-326-8115 is my mobile number. Feel free to call or text me. Email address is jason@jasonsmithshowcase.com. Again, jason@jasonsmithshowcase.com. And we will continue to keep you updated so you have an exact moment-to-moment idea about what's happening in the real estate market in Miami. So you don't have to worry about all these conflicting articles that you might be seeing online or in the paper. Or what you're seeing here is data of what's actually happening. And I can do it for any price point, any neighborhood in Miami, condo, single family, here for you. Thank you for tuning in, folks. See you soon. Bye.